left Adelaide this morning and then headed up the highway towards Port Pirie. The roads were a bit bumpy in places, but the cars seemed to handle it really well. And then we came up to Port Augusta, where we stopped at the local dealership.
I've been with Toyota for 25, 30 years. I was a motor mechanic myself. We're lucky enough to have the tour here to see some of our environment and conditions in South Australia. It's a desert, it's hot. To travel for hours and hours and hours on a rough dirt road every day, it puts the cars through a test. But it's a testament to the product to see the durability of it. They do a remarkable job.
On a trip like this, there's so many things to consider, safety being number one, of course, for the drivers to enjoy themselves and be able to experience the cars, experience our countryside, and also, I suppose, hopefully at the end of the journey they'll have some sense of satisfaction as if they've conquered some part of the country.
This morning we started from Port Augusta. We drove about 2 hours to come to Mount Eye.
We've been heading down some gravel roads today, getting pretty deep into the outback.
The road conditions were challenging at some points today, but the cars handled the situation really, really well. And once we got to Lake Gairdner, it was another story. It's one of the largest salt lakes in Australia, and it's an absolute privilege for the Discovery Tour to get access today.
My name's Keith Rashid. I'm lucky enough to live in the Flinders Ranges in north of South Australia. It's rather difficult to describe where I live. Quite rugged, and it does require specialised type vehicles. The biggest factor with the Toyota we found was reliability. You knew you were always going to get home.
Today we drove from Port Augusta to Ceduna.
Mainly our drive consisted of vast open spaces and straight stretches of road.
We had a chance of overtaking vehicles like road trains, which is tricky conditions and high speed.
We also passed the centre line of this great large country we live in.
It's a long way from Victoria, it's a long way to go.
Today we set off from Ceduna in South Australia and crossed the Nullarbor into Western Australia. We were driving along Eyre Highway, famous for being the longest stretch of straight road in Australia. Some amazing scenery on the way there. We stopped about halfway at the Nullarbor Plains service station.
The Nullarbor Roadhouse was the first roadhouse on the Eyre Highway. We've had Rodney Roode, John English, Shane Crawford was riding across. It's a great place to work and live, absolutely excellent. Stress-free lifestyle.